YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. We're here talking about Thursday night football action. Stu, how you doing, my man? Coming at you after the Monday night games.
Doing all right. Like I said on Monday, I had a pretty shitty week last week, so just kind of looking forward to the bounce back. We got some good games to talk about, and obviously a pretty solid Thursday night football one as well. I know some people might hate on this one, but I actually don't mind this game. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, if it was Browning, for sure, it would be kind of.
Oh, 100%. That guy
I would
is
not want to watch this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy. This would be a good game. I was happy to see Flacco. Obviously, it was against my Packers. Luckily, the Packers got the win. But yeah, I think this would be a good football game. I'm excited to kind of tune in, and the games that we've been kind of thinking were going to be shitty, it turned into pretty good ones, like the Giants Eagles last week. I know we weren't able to talk about it on show. I didn't see too many people liking that one. Turned out to be a pretty good football game. So we have the Steelers to talk about here in a sec, but. Anything you want to talk about from the games on Monday before we do our recap of our bets here?
It's kind of funny. Like, last year Washington won a game the Bears deserved to win, and then this year the Bears win a game Washington deserved to win. Like, you can't win with how bad did they lose the turnover differential? I remember three fumbles. Yeah, you can't win a game like that. And obviously a red zone interception as well. Daniels just straight up missed his guy early. So, a little bit annoying, but I don't really have high expectations for Washington right now. I mean, when your wide receiver one is like Chris Moore, you got Deebo Samuel, pretty much a running back hybrid at this point. Like, I don't know. It's just it's not a team I had a lot of expectation for. So, hoping they can bounce back. We got a game against the Cowboys this week. So, highest total of the season so far at 54. No surprises here. But yeah, just that game definitely kind of expected it.
Yeah, it sucks for me because obviously I wasted third round pick on Jaden Daniels in fantasy this year, and I don't think I'm going to start him the rest of the year, bro. I don't think until Terry McLaurin comes back, this offense is dog shit to me. And I get to play Dak Prescott every week, and I'm chilling, bro. Dak's just good. I mean, even in the matchup with this Cowboys defense being the worst defense probably in football right now, or at least bottom three, I'm still fucking going Dak against Washington versus playing Jaden Daniels in that spot because, obviously Dak's got to do a ton of stuff for this team to even have a chance in that game. So it should be a fun game to talk about there. Hey, big shouts to the Falcons, man. They beat the piss out of those dudes. Like, I don't even think the Bills didn't even have a chance. Like, it didn't even. I felt like the score felt closer than what it was, and it was still like 2 touchdowns. Right? The Bills' offense looked anemic. That defense got torched. I lost my fantasy game this week because Drake London stepped out at the 1-yard line. If he would have scored, I would have won. That's just how shitty everything kind of went this week. In that one, I'm like, the one time you have a guy hustling to make a tackle is the one that I need him just to fucking dive in the end zone and get me those extra points. So yeah, that lost me my week, unfortunately. But yeah, Falcons look good.
Yeah, I mean, they blitzed at the third highest rate any team had all year. We saw the Bills have an O-line injury kind of early in the game, and they were like, all right, fuck it. We're just going to not give you any time. And yeah, I mean, it was an impressive game, no doubt about it. It's kind of what I was saying from the start. Like, if you like the Falcons, you just got to parlay it with Bijan 100, 120. Like, it's no debate. That is how they win this game. And the Bills were, like, stale. They came out with no energy on offense or defense. So it was a rough one. I bet the Falcons live at -110, which was really lucky. It was that play where Josh Allen got sacked on third down, and it looked like he got hurt. If you remember that one, they kind of zoomed in. He was grimacing.
Well, I didn't. I was watching the.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch.
Yeah, there was a play. He almost. It looked bad for a minute. It looked like he was hurt, and then it cuts commercial, and they're already losing at that point. They already lost their alignment. I'm like, fuck it, let me take the Falcons. And then obviously he's okay, but they scored immediately after. So that was kind of lucky. But yeah, great performance from the Falcons. They have a very strong defense. Their problem all these years has been pressure, and they're finally able to get pressure. One of the best cornerback safety combos in the league when healthy with Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell. And yeah, it was a good performance from their part, and on the other side, just a really pathetic performance from the Bills. That's the flattest I've seen them come out in a while, especially in a primetime game. So maybe a 1:00 Jets Week 16 game, that's what they look like, but I don't know about that. That was pretty rough.
Yeah, no, it was a tough one to watch if you're a Bills fan there. But yeah, no, I thought it was impressive. Obviously, I guess I'll just talk about my bet coming through with that one. And Drake London ended up having 5 catches on the first 2 drives. Ended up going for 10? I think he had 10 catches, 150 something, and a touchdown. I really thought if he would have got that second one, like I said, I would have won my fantasy week. Ended up scoring 165 and losing because, of course, I play a defense who scores 40 in Denver.
Yeah,
of course. But yeah, we got that one. And I know everybody hated JCM this week because he missed his actual line by like a yard. But that's the perks of buying it down like 7 yards. We end up cashing there. He ended up with like 62. I know everybody who bet his straight line is all pissed at him. But, hey, he did his thing for me. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, just snuck over, obviously a little bit sweaty. But shout out to Washington. They had enough fight where it was kind of live, and yeah, that was that was an interesting one. I mean, the fumble, he was good. Like, he looked good in the game, but you can't fumble that much and expect to be the guy. So yeah, that was a little bit annoying, but yeah, he obviously got the job done. I didn't have a straight, I just had this as well, so I was happy to see it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of JCM hate because I think his last 2 carries were like 2 carries for like 3 yards, and people are like, "Oh, he should be getting all his garbage or like the carries at the end of the game." Well, they still have Jaden Daniels there doing a lot of this stuff as well. So yeah, ended up cashing this one in, and then obviously the play I was talking about kind of fucked us on this one, but we'll talk about our other one.
Yeah, this is annoying because obviously if that fluke play doesn't go over, it's a great win, but it's one of those 2-minute drill clear passing downs are like the least likely you are to lose these bets normally because it's the most obvious passing situation possible, and all you're going to do is try to prevent them from gaining chunk yardage. Like they're the plays where you most rarely lose this. So it's very frustrating to obviously see the only wide receiver that even had a target in the whole first half just break that play, But yeah, it is what it is. You obviously enter that water when you bet this market in general, but felt like this was a very good play. And London obviously breaks a very fluky spot on one of the plays where the Bills should have obviously been most prepared to stop it. And the Bills lost their starting corner, Christian Benford, like 2 plays before as well. So just kind of unfortunate there. But yeah, I still think this is a good call.
Yeah, no, it sucks because obviously with 1 second or like whatever, 3 seconds in the half, what are we doing? Putting one-on-one coverage with the dude who has 120 yards in the first half already.
Literally, the only guy. The first read on every drop back, like you're like, that's the guy. If it's Casey Washington or whatever, you're like, okay, you beat him at least. You got a little creative. It's fucking Drake London. Like, yeah, it was annoying. It was very annoying. You thought you're scot free going into the half. I actually was walking downstairs. I didn't even watch the play because we're going into halftime looking good, and then that happens.
Yeah, very weird spot that this one goes over on. But you did cash in on our long shot, our only long shot from the show. You take your flowers here, Stu.
Yeah, I mean, it was exactly what we said. I mean, the guy doesn't play like a ton of snaps, but when he does go out there, they're trying to get him the ball. And they're like designed calls. And those calls are extremely valuable. So, yeah, we just kind of assumed. We saw it last week. I mean, looking back, 18.5 is arguably one of the worst lines of the season for his regular number. But yeah, it felt good to kind of read the tea leaves, clearly see him more involved, and yeah, got the job done. It should have been both fucking rookies. Loveland got his 10-yard catch overturned on the softest offensive pass interference I've seen all year. So, the rookies out of the bye week is something to look for. And yeah, even your guy, what's his name, Golden, had a nice catch early as well. So definitely something to keep watching as the season goes.
Yeah, I think he had almost 100 yards this week. Yeah, pretty much the only receiver doing anything. But yeah, Luther Burden obviously really benefited after DJ Moore went out. I think DJ Moore was the leading receiver for these guys through like the first like 20 minutes of the game. And then I think he got hit in the nuts, bro. Like, that has to be the only reason. Would you see that? Like, they took him to the hospital.
I saw, but I have no clue why. I didn't know.
Yeah,
like
they said I'm looking at how it happened. He had to got hit in the nuts. Like, that's the only reason you'd stay overnight at the hospital there, because that's got to be. And he's like, and they said, oh, we'll take it day by day, and now he's fine. So it's like, okay, we couldn't have torn our groin, we couldn't have done all this other shit that would keep me out for a month. We probably just got a helmet to the nuts, dude. And that sucks, but you're fine. And then obviously Luther Burden gets a lot more stuff there. I feel like he's going to be a very popular guy this week if DJ Moore does sit. So I think that we're going to see a lot more people betting on Luther Burden this past week. So we end up moving back in a nice spot in the green. We're at 1.8 units with that nice cash there for Stu on Luther Burden there. So we head into this week. We got Cincinnati at home versus the Steelers. AFC North rivalry game, and now you bring in Baltimore Raven Joe Flacco into Cincy to take over for Jake Browning, who, like we said, does not deserve to ever touch a football field again. But Stu, I'll kick it over to you. We got 35 people out here checking it out with us. Before we get to our bets, what do you think about the game? And then which of the four sides you kind of lean into here?
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. Like I said before, I actually watched the whole Steelers game last week, like front to back, and I've watched a good amount of theirs. I mean, I've watched all their games this year, but they've impressed me a little bit more than some people. Obviously, I think I'm higher on them than general consensus. Honestly, this week I was looking at some futures yesterday. I was just kind of bored, start looking around. I don't mind, and I was saying this in Discord, like I don't mind some of these real deep long shots to win the Super Bowl because we don't have a clear, really good team this year. We have the Chiefs still, who are the Chiefs. They'll obviously be there, but you're not getting any real value betting that. I think some teams like the Steelers, the Patriots, that are actually going to be playoff teams this year maybe could surprise some people and go a little bit deeper just with clear weaknesses all around. You know what I mean? And the Steelers are fucking good on defense. And that is the one thing that we know Mike Tomlin's going to have these boys ready to go. But like the metrics right now have the Steelers as like maybe the 7th, 8th, 9th best defense in football. I would say healthy this week, the Steelers in my ratings would be the 3rd best defense in football. That healthy pass rush combination with Herbig in there now, Highsmith back healthy, J.J. Watt, you add in the rookie as well, defensive tackle. That line, you're not going to be able to do anything. And then in the secondary, they got Jalen Ramsey, who's back to playing at an elite level. He looks fantastic. He's a game breaker. Like, he was meant to be a Steeler. They're using him all over. He had sacks and quarterback hits last week. Interceptions. The guy is just everywhere. And then now you have Joey Porter Jr., who missed a couple games. He should be back and healthy, playing in this one as well. So you reunite your starting corners there. You have a great defensive line. The linebackers are a little bit iffy, but I just love the Steelers' defense. And then what they've been doing on offense recently, I've been writing about it for these last couple weeks. They're playing tight end, not only 2 tight end sets, they're playing extra offensive linemen at the highest rate in the league. So they're checking in an extra 6 offensive linemen on one side, and then they're lining up Darnell Washington, who's built like an offensive lineman. He's 290 pounds, 6'7", and they're running behind that unit. And good luck stopping those guys. And even last week against a Browns defense that has fucking ravaged every offensive line, well, guess what? It's a little bit harder when they've got like 8 guys that are 300 pounds out there. So I like the style of football they're running. The biggest question mark is obviously the passing game. The only play call they currently have written up is chuck the ball to DK Metcalf or check the ball down to one of your running backs. So that's obviously a very limited game plan, but I like what they're doing right now. I think they're kind of maximizing what they have. Aaron Rodgers is not the guy he used to be, so fuck it, check it down, and then a little deep shot every once in a while. So yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers in this game. I'm hoping we get a better line just because since he has gotten better with Flacco, I think people respect Flacco. I think his name might, influence the market. So I'm hoping as the week goes on, more people try to grab on some value in Cincy after they played a closer game last week. But I don't really see a path to victory here at all, personally. I think the Steelers, trusting them to win by margin sucks. So I wouldn't bet 5.5, but if we can get it down to like 4.5, 4, something like that, maybe a little money line parlay with the Patriots later this week. I don't know. Like, I think the Steelers win this game, so that's the side I'm going to take.
Yeah, no, I think this is a tough spot for Bengals here. I don't know if I want to bet them at 5.5 though. Fuck,
It's rough on both sides, because if you want the Bengals, you want 6 or 7 too. You want
I know. That's why I just
you don't even get it.
Honestly, dude, this kind of just screams like those like kind of what the Bengals did last week. You know, where it's like Packers were covering. I know it was 14, but there was like 6 minutes left, and then they make a drive, go put down a touchdown. And dude, honestly, I could see it being an over too. Just like an over game that just kind of hits it right at the end. That'd be I can't get it at 43.5 on the under here, dude. This kind of just feels like, you know, the Pittsburgh takes over the beginning. You know, they've had a lot of really strong first halves this year offensively. I don't know if it's just like their script plays or what, but seeing it when they're out in London, what they were up 14-0 right away out there. Oh man, I think I might have picked one of the 4 sides. I need the 6 or 7 for Cincy. So I'm gonna play the over. I feel like the over is gonna be the spot I go to here. Yeah, dude, I just think Flacco is gonna be that dude, man. He still can spin that shit, man. He looked really good in the second half. If anybody watched the first half of that Packer game last week, they looked dead. Like, it was horrible. I think they had like 80 yards of offense. And then the second half, they're just like, all right, well, we realized, we can't run the fucking football. Let's just chuck it. Our best players are literally on the outside, and we chuck it around the field. So I think that's where I'm going, is going to be the over. I think they kind of figured it out a little bit last week on what we need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Flacco obviously always brings that to life, just that ability to kind of keep you in a game. And then on the other side, who do you trust less with the lead than like the Steelers? I mean, they're like Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell is just not that good of a running back combo. Like, I wish this team had like a Judkins or something like that, where they could just grind you out. And obviously that's what they drafted Caleb Johnson for. But they clearly don't trust him enough to play him out there. And you do need a pass blocking running back as well with Rodgers at all times, and same with Flacco, honestly. Both these guys need guys because they can't move anymore. And when you got a bad offensive line, you got to have someone helping you out. You can't scramble and create for yourself. So the pass blocking is kind of holding him back. But the Steelers' lack of a run game kind of concerns me when they're leading. But like I said, it's been better with these mega personnel sets. So that does definitely change things a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust Cincy, honestly. But if anyone can, obviously Flacco just saw a really tough defense last week, and he just gets the ball out so quickly. And that's just all it's going to be, is check down, check down, check down.
Well, yeah, let me just take it right into mine, I guess. Huh? We'll just go right there, because I know Stu's got only a long shot. I have my first 1.5 of the year, I think, on the show. Oh man, I'm gonna go Flacco completions, man. And I know it's tough. We just talked about how good the Steelers defense is here. Zach Taylor. I mean, Taylor's got to know, man. Like you just saw what happens when you try to run the football. These guys are horrible. Their offensive line cannot run block at all. Chase Brown is just getting smoked immediately. Let's just give it to our athletes in space, right? They built their team in a way that is not how the normal NFL good teams have been built, right? They build them in the trenches. No, they built these guys on, okay, we have better athletes than you. We're going to figure it out, and fuck it. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we've seen that hasn't really worked that well with all the injuries to Joe Burrow. But Joe Flacco fits this offense as well as you can have as like a fucking makeshift, because this dude doesn't need to move that much. He gets the ball out so fast. I think the Packers may have had 1 sack last week, maybe 2. There was one where he like fell forward and it was like 1 yard. So I think it might have been 2. And mind you, they're beating them almost every play. It's just the ball's out. You have no chance to get it there, right? So I think it's going to be a lot of checkdowns here. I think it's a lot of Jamar Chase, obviously quick slants, get that ball out quick. We still got Chase Brown out of the backfield, who's been really good. Mind you, we saw last week Flacco ended up 29 for 45, under 5 yards per completion on that.
Yeah.
Under 5 yards. That's impressive. That's lower than any game I've seen this year outside of the game he played against the Packers, right? The first time with on the other team, on the Browns, where it was 3.9, right? And mind you, I will give you that Steelers pass rush is probably as good, if not maybe a little bit better than the Packers pass rush there. So I think they're pretty similar in that aspect. And we saw in that game, Flacco ended up with 21 completions. They threw the ball 36 times and they ran the hell out of it, right? And were able to get there. We would have seen Flacco at like 32 or 33 last week if I was telling Stu before the show. Asavas, I think, had like 3 drops, right? And I'm pretty sure somebody else had another drop. I don't know if it was Higgins. I think Higgins might have had one. They didn't technically count as a drop, but hit right off his hands. So that's 4. So they were up to 33 completions last week, guys. And I don't even know how many he had in the first half, but it wasn't many. They did not. I don't even think they got a first down in the first half. It was that bad. So I'm going to Flacco completions. I trust that Taylor's not dumb as a coach here. And I know they've been using Pirine as a non-fumble guy, like a guy for possession in some of those dump downs. But, and then Pirine fumbled like 2 weeks ago when they brought him in to do that. So I thought that was funny. But, so it'll be my first 1.5 of the year. I'm going to trust these Thursday night games that kind of been looking like shitty games start turning into fun, a little bit more high-flying games. So I'm going to roll with Flacco and hope he gets the job done for us here.
Yeah, no, I fully endorse this one. I was looking at the same thing, and it also helps when you don't have any defense as well, right? So it's not like they're going to be stopping the other team, right? I mean, like it's likely going to be just kind of back and forth, and that's just going to mean more offensive opportunities. I guess the only concern is just there has to be a Chase Brown game eventually. I bet his unders a couple times this year. I really want to again this week. Like I'm really tempted to bet his unders, but the guy's lined at like 14 carries and only like 41 yards. So it's already baked in that he's going to be so inefficient that it's like, I don't know. It still might be worth it even without the value because, like Tyro mentioned, Pirine's there now. I actually like betting on Pirine this week. There aren't really that many numbers out on him on any real books yet, but I fully endorse Pirine. I think he'll probably get a couple Flacco dump downs. And it's going to be point and shoot all game long because he had, I believe, one of the top 10 lowest times to throw in his debut last week. And it's the same kind of defense, like you mentioned. He was already just kind of battle tested with it. So, yeah, the only question is just who do you pick? Like, that's the tough part. I see everyone in the world on Jamar Chase. I get it 100%. I'd probably be a receptions over yards guy. I see a little bit too many people. I'm like, God, there could be a lot of 1-2 yard screens in there. But I think at this point with him at 7 catches, it's probably some of the other guys that even have a little bit of value. Like Higgins runs shorter routes now. I know we think of him as a downfield guy. The only issue is Higgins probably sees Joey Porter Jr., and he's one of the few corners that's kind of big enough and physical enough to actually fight him on every snap. Like if you're a football fan, if you like watching stuff like that, that's going to be a great matchup to eye. It's likely going to be Ramsey on Chase and Joey Porter Jr. on Higgins, which is just like, that's some of the most fun matchups you could. It's a shame Joe Flacco is tossing the ball, but just some fantastic matchups. So maybe that means we see Noah Fant have a big game. Maybe it means Pirine Brown. Like I think some of these other guys are going to step up. And when you can't choose, let's just go to the quarterback who we know is going to be dumping it down. So I'm fully with it. Like this play a lot. They force you to do it, and Flacco has no problems with it at all.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit. You're fucking 40 years old, bro.
Hell no. He's out the game if he gets hit, bro. Fucking JJ Watt gets to him. He might need a stretcher to get back up or a cane or something.
Yeah, TJ. We're on TJ.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Still shot on another Badger, but I had to give you to see that. It's an initial, right? Same fucking thing. They're the same, right? Except
I just now got the other brothers, right? The Bosas. So, it takes me a while. What can I say?
Well, I mean, you don't have to talk about Nick anymore. He's fucking out for fucking how long now. So.
Yeah. Fair, which is kind of a yearly occurrence with those guys at this point anyway.
Yeah, dude. Warner, Bosa, fuck. Dude, that Niners team is...
Warner's
and
rough.
yet
Warner's so good.
Yeah, Warner's like that whole defense there now. And the sheer fact that they're still thinking the Niners are... I think they're tied right now with... I think there's like plus 120 on each to win the division. Seahawks are still fucking like plus 200. Fuck, go take it, dude. I wish everybody would have got in at the 500, but... crazy to me that with all those injuries on top of it. Shout out Mac Jones. I had to give him his flowers, dude. He's been balling even with beat the hell up team there. So
I know he's such good. Mac Jones has arguably looked as good as Purdy, by the way, and people haven't
probably better.
Honestly,
probably better because this fucker's throwing it to Kendrick Bourne for 150, dude. Yeah, that was impressive. I don't even like the Niners, but I had to give him a quick shout there because
before we move on, now that I think of it, did Mac Jones get himself a starting gig next year with this?
I mean,
with how weak the quarterback class is. He could probably be a bridge guy for maybe the Raiders.
You need a certain offense though, bro. You need.
Yeah, I'm not saying
good. Like a good offensive coordinator.
I'm not saying it's gonna be a successful decision that a smart franchise would make. I'm saying I think he's probably tricked at least one or two GMs into being like, yeah, that's gonna be our bridge guy. And the other hot take I had, it just reminded me as well, watching freaking Bo Nix out there every week. If Marcus Mariota was the starting quarterback for the Broncos, they'd probably be undefeated right now. I'm just saying, Marcus, watching that, I was infuriated, and I was like, wait, it just clicked. It's like Marcus Mariota would be a perfect compliment for this team, and he would have been free for them this offseason. It would have cost him like $8 million as a backup or whatever, and he'd be better than Bo Nix. The other crazy name I thought that might be better than Bo Nix is Spencer Rattler, who we expected to be the worst quarterback in football. He's putting up some good tape this year. He's looked solid. I'm not saying I'd want him as my quarterback, but I just want you guys to know the level Bo Nix is on right now.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I'm going to play. If I play DFS this week, I'm playing the Giants defense, bro. I'm playing the Giants defense against Denver's offense.
That could be fun,
dude. That's like they're like minimum price too, and you got to have some sort of mini game stack in that Cowboys game, or else you're kind of fucked with a 68 point total there. Still not higher than my boys over at FAU in college, bro. I think it's like 75. That's my over team this year. I've been just play it every week. 75 over under this week. They play South Florida. So I had to get that in there. So it might be the highest I've seen in a very long time. 75 total.
I bet on them live week 1 against Maryland, and they got their ass kicked. So
they got West Camp. They got West Camp over there. But they fucking throw it. They know huddle the whole time. I love that shit, dude. Love that shit. It's how Florida should beat the brakes off them, but we'll be able to score. All right, let's take a look at the chat here quick. We got Ryan in here, first guy in. We appreciate you. Unfortunately, sports, when you post an emoji on StreamYard, I can't see any emojis. I just get this blank box. Do you see that emoji? Is there an emoji?
I do. I see it's the little salute right
there. Okay. Mine just puts a box like on my screen. Like I'm gonna take a picture of this now so you can see what I see on this because it's kind of weird why mine's doing that.
Well, it's weird that you're running the show and I can see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I just did. And then we got AARP, both from our guys sports over there. Yeah, we got some old boys playing out there. Old boys doing their thing. Stu, what do you think before we get into your spot here?
Yeah, I do. I think they're the best team in the AFC. I mean, it's boring, but it is what it is. I think they're my Super Bowl favorite right now. So yeah.
Perfect. All right. FanDuel has a promo. If your touchdown pick gets the first or last touchdown, any picks for that? I guess we'll just take that into Stu's long shot here because I'm assuming you're going to talk about him. Stu obviously not playing him there, but let's kick it over to you for a long shot.
Yeah, there are no regular Darnell Washington props up right now, but we do have touchdowns. So we're going to a little long shot action right here, and that means half a unit. If you guys are new around here, we're not banging off the full unit, anything crazy like that. But yeah, I like Darnell Washington a lot. If you've been watching the show, you probably already know that. I've talked about him earlier in the show. I've talked about him multiple weeks already. He's a red zone threat. The frustrating thing, I was ranting about this yesterday, is like it's annoying to figure something out early, clearly be right about it, and then all the value be gone. Like I bet it 10-1, I bet it 15-1 this year, and he hasn't scored yet, and it's 380.
Yep.
That's how fucking right we were. That's how we were that correct. That is, yeah, but whatever. It is what it is. He hasn't scored, but all the metrics are clearly there. And guess what? Now he's their starting tight end. He went from being their number 3 tight end to begin the year to he plays the most snaps out of anyone out there. Freiermuth, we got to trade this guy. We got to get him out of here. I don't know what he does, but maybe you could get something back for him. I think a team could use Freiermuth. They just don't use him. I don't really get why he's on this team right now. Jonnu Smith is like the weirdest usage player in football, where he's a wide receiver, but he doesn't run routes. He runs like running back routes. He's like a fullback. It's I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think it's the smartest in the world. I do kind of like his under longest reception because all of his stuff is just right near the line of scrimmage. But they've fully shaken up their tight end room, where Washington's the really only true tight end that plays heavy snaps. He's going to be in there for every red zone formation. He, like I said in the show earlier, he is 6'7", 290 pounds. He looks like he is an offensive lineman. When he is running routes out there, you're like, oh shit, he's a walking mismatch. That's why I'm such a big fan. Like, players like this are extremely unique. And he can catch. If you look at his combine, there's a really famous play of him making a one-handed red zone catch as well. And you're like, how can a guy move like this that's this big? So it's obvious he didn't score a touchdown, but he scored a 2-point conversion where it was just hilarious. It was just one-on-one with a linebacker. It's like nobody can guard this. And like I said earlier, their traditional run game is not good. Gainwell and Warren, neither of those guys are between the 1 yard line sneak guys. Neither of them are like, two like short yardage. They're not great in that role. Aaron Rodgers, maybe it was hitting QB sneaks 8 years ago. We're not really doing that unless it's a fucking
You're going to blow that Achilles real quick. Yeah. You try that again, bro. Yeah.
He's not doing that. Maybe in a playoff game. Maybe we'll break one out. But we're absolutely not doing that in, regular season. So that takes away your short yardage game to pretty much being DK Metcalf one-on-one in the corner, which is a good strategy, and he normally does get first dibs. But then when you got to worry about that, then you get Darnell Washington one-on-one against a poor linebacker or safety. So, I'm just going to keep backing it. If it hits and I'm not on board, I will be so fucking angry that we got to keep Brian right here. And this is a good matchup. This is one of the weakest defenses they'll play all year long. So why would I not back him in a game where they'll have more red zone opportunities? So, yeah, give me Darnell Washington. Please finally get this touchdown for us, man. We've been here the whole ride. The price fucking sucks now. It is what it is, but let's at least score a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's how I was feeling when I was betting Daniel Jones touchdown every week. And then the 1 week I didn't do it, he scores a fucking course. So I'm happy that you're just going back to it, because I would hate for you to have to deal with that like me, having to deal with your I've already wasted enough money on you. Now I'm going to fucking go away and then he scores. So I'm 100% in agreement there. Yeah, we got other people in here popping in. I know our guy Thomas bringing him up right away. So he's in prime time here. So exciting stuff. Stu, let's get a quick recap in here. I'll be getting through these quick, and then I think we'll be out of here and we'll be ready to go for Friday. So I'll be rolling with Flacco. Really, the only straight bet here from the show is I'm going to play it for 1.5 units. Since I'm playing for 1.5, Stu's playing his long shot there is going to only end up being our normal wager amount anyway, but we'll kick it to Stu.
Sounds good. Yeah, we got Darnell Washington anytime touchdown plus 380. Hoping, he can get the job done for us right here. I like Mount Washington. That's a good nickname right there.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. So
I haven't either. I like it, though. It's clever.
You got anything else here, Stu? We like I said, we still got 40 of you guys here in the chat joining us. And hopefully coming in to catch some winners here with us. Anything else from you, Stu, before we pop out and prep for Friday?
Yeah, well, I'll say the other long shot that caught my eye was P. Ryan touchdown at like 750. That's a really good price. He might actually be the lead red zone back at this point. So, I mean, yeah, Chase Brown's like budget Kenneth Walker. I finally figured it out because he's a home run hitter, but down to down. Not the most consistent. He's not really creating as much, but he can maximize holes and stuff like that. That's what a guy like Walker does so well. Chase Brown can show that off when he has good run blocking, but they have the worst run blocking unit in football. So P. Ryan's a guy that will safely get you 2, 3, 4. He's mostly a pass catching guy, but if they're going to be behind, he's going to be out there anyway. So yeah. And then G-Easy says, if you want to bet a Chase Brown under, I would go yards rather than carries because he's been extremely inefficient this year. I don't see how. And I know it's baked into the number. I get that. If you just want to multiply 14 by 4, you see it is higher, and 4 or 3.8, whatever, is kind of a standard running back number. But yeah, he's been shit this year. There's no other way to say it. So I would go under yards. I don't think he's going to be efficient.
Awesome. Oh, Mount Washington, it's a landmark. Oh, okay. I thought I thought that was a nickname because the dude's a fucking brute in an absolute unit. So, yeah, it was I guess a double. It works for both. So, yeah, I don't think I'll have any other. I think maybe I'll have one other play in this game. Maybe I'll take a couple tackle props in this primetime game just because I don't think they're going to do much more than 10 yards down the field. So.
There's rookie maybe not. I'll have to look in a little more. The Bengals benched their starting linebacker for a rookie, so he might be a good value. But we'll talk about that later. There's nothing up right now.
Yeah, there's really not too much for props out there outside of obviously like sacks. But yeah, we'll be back on Friday, guys. Ready to roll. Obviously, we get to talk about Stu's team in a huge game and one of the probably most talked about games of the week. So that'll be fun to talk there. Obviously some big spreads. We got some dogs to pick for you guys yet again. But yeah, should be fun. Obviously, you don't see 55-point totals come around too much. And we're really lucky again to have a nice 2-game Sunday slate with 2 fucking great games, right? I mean, 2 great games. Obviously, the other game, Houston, Seattle, not as great. But it's Seattle, so I obviously like it. So
I'm hyped, yeah.
I think it'll be enough. And then obviously you have Tampa Bay, Detroit. Holy shit, what a game! We're blessed this week again to be able to talk another 2-game slate with you guys. But yeah, ready to roll. We'll be seeing you guys on Friday, normal time. And yeah, let's cash a couple tickets.